I'm so excited. We're going to be going to test drive the new DENZA B8 and B5 in Fortitude Valley. So let's go. I'm really excited because our warehouse agent in China has a brand new DENZA B8. Well, in China they call it a B8. However, we got to drive around China in it for a little bit. He picked us up in it. We used the autonomous driving. If you haven't seen that video, go and check it out. But right now, more importantly, we are gonna go drive the Australian delivered vehicle, which I'm really, really excited about. Obviously, I've ordered the DENZA B8. If you haven't watched that video, we went and checked it out at the launch, and we've placed an order for a B8 top spec 6-seater with all of the DENZA suspension. So really excited to get that vehicle and do some off-road testing in it, and also some everyday lifestyle testing, see how it holds up in, you know, putting baby seats in. I've got a baby seat in here today. I might even put the baby seat in it, see how it holds up, and yeah, so I'm really excited, but let's go and check it out. All right guys, so we've made it. We're in Fortitude Valley and we've got the B8 and the B5 lined up ready to go. So there you go. This is the B8 and this is the DENZA B5. So there you go. We saw this at the launch and I'm assuming these are gonna be the test drive vehicles. So this is the current showroom in DENZA in Fortitude Valley, as you can see. It looked very similar to the old BYD showroom. However, they're about to do a massive rehaul over in February. February, they're gonna commence a full makeover of this building, so it's gonna look completely different. Man, I saw this on the launch, and at the launch, this color looked completely different. No one even knew it was this color, but how sexy is this color? It looks actually really, really cool. Completely different to how it looked at the launch night, isn't it? Completely different. Oh, and the black B5 looks tough. Man, I really, really love the B5 shape, the B5 shape. It's such a cool vehicle. In my opinion, I think the B5 looks better than the B8. However, the B8 interior and obviously the size of it, I like the front end of the B5 preferably over the B8. But unfortunately, I need more space, so I'm gonna have to go for the B8. But the interior of the B8 is far superior to the B5. So anyway, let's go and test drive the B5. Let's go. Okay guys, I'm here at Fortitude Valley and I've got my little camera on my head so you guys can see what's going on in front of me. Makes it easier to film, so I look like I'm a little cool today with my headband on. I'm here with Richard and he is here with DENZA, and we are gonna go for a test drive in the B5, well sorry, the DENZA B5 first. So let's hit the road. It's currently in eco mode, 100% charge, and it says that we've got 721 kilometers of range. So we're in the Leopard, all right? So even in the Leopard, you've still got your manual adjuster. It feels identical to the BYD Shark. That's first of all what I just noticed just by moving it. All right, we're gonna head out into peak hour traffic, so it's gonna be really not that fun, but anyway. Now we might have to have a play with the suspension as well, just to see get a feeling of how the suspension feels. Oh, it'd be hi DENZA. I'm so used to saying hi BYD. Hi DENZA.
I'm here.
Open sunroof.
All right.
Hi DENZA.
I'm here.
Turn on massage seat for driver.
I'm not able to control seat massage.
That's not good. Why not? So they still haven't updated that. I don't know why. I mean, if we complain about it enough, I know they'll do an over-the-air update about it, because that is quite frustrating that you still can't get the massage seats to work. It would be much easier if you could just tell her to put your massage on. Hi, DENZA.
Yes?
Please close sunroof.
All right.
Another thing is, in China, they all have covers over the little camera. So in Australia, we don't get that, unfortunately, which sucks a little, because it would be good to get a little cover that you can cover the camera that looks at you in your in-cabin, because it's a pain in the ass. But anyway, so far so good. So it feels really nice, smooth, comfortable, quiet, next to a noisy truck right now. And I mean, you definitely notice the insulation. But it's going to be interesting driving this compared to, say, the BAO8. My initial thoughts are it's beautiful. I might put it into HEV just to see the engine on, and I also might put it into a different mode. So we'll put it into, say, sport mode. So we're currently in sport mode now. Such a nice car to drive. Have you driven it yet?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Nice. Suspension's really compliant. These roads are quite bad around the city area. Look at the traffic. Absolutely horrendous. Man, the suspension is beautiful.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's beautiful.
There's the suspension.
So we've driven the DENZA B5 in China, and the suspension is very stiff.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's completely different here. And they've put 35, 36 PSI in the tires. So you're at a lot of the BYDs, when we took them for test drives, they were sitting at 41. So they've learnt from that, and they've put 36, which should be around roughly what it needs to be at. Because 41 PSI, it's way too stiff, but man, this feels so comfortable. We might put those keys in the center, yeah. All right, let's see how this goes with these speed bumps.
Wow, that's good.
Feels really good. Need some good potholes. My cousin's taking one of these cars over to Papua New Guinea. You know where Papua New Guinea is?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so he's bought a BAO8, and a B8. I'm so used to saying BAO because for me, I've been looking at these cars in China for the past, 2 years.
Wow, you've been looking at this?
I've been following, I follow everything. So everything in China, and I always on doing social media. So yeah, I don't really follow TikTok, any Australian social media, except for my own. I'm really interested to see how it drives in comparison to the B8. Driving it back to back, you get a good feeling of what it feels like. But I'm going in all the back streets. So currently we're in the back streets of like Hamilton. So I'm finding the worst roads I can. I'm gonna have to test this stereo. I might pull over and connect my phone. Because that's another thing I've noticed from the BYDs that I currently own. Obviously we own the Seal Performance and also the Shark. I noticed that the stereos don't go very, very, very loud. But we'll be interested to see how this one performs. Might just pull over here. All right, so your wireless Android Auto works perfectly. Now, let's see if your wireless charging works. Sometimes, yeah, there we go. Wireless charging's working. So my phone's sitting at 99%, it's got 50 watt wireless charging. All right, let's test the stereo.
Keep eyes on road.
All right, guys, so my camera on my head's died. I'm trying to cool it down. I'm cooling it by the aircon vent, which is really handy. And what's the time? So we're 8:44. We'll go down here. We'll do a quick drive down here. Now, there's a lot of features in this car that I'm not going to cover in this video. All I'm doing is covering how the car feels, my initial verdict on how the car feels. So obviously, once I get my car, I'll be able to do some proper off-road testing, some proper testing on, say, pothole roads and different terrains. However, right now we have got the city to quickly check. I'm trying to play around with the suspension on the B5. You got your drive modes on your screen, all right? Rage mode, which is like ridiculous. Let's go into race mode. There we go. So we're currently in race mode, and the whole car is squatting down. So the whole car just got ready to launch, and the whole car's dropped itself down. The dashboard's changed, it's all gone red, and you got a G-force meter, which is interesting. So the whole car's squatted down, and it's like, all right, we're ready to launch this thing. Except we're at a traffic light and there's a train coming past and we're in a 50 zone, so we can't really launch it. And I noticed the aircon go down. Did you notice that? So when you go into race mode, the aircon literally turned down, like it completely changed. I don't know why, but that's interesting. Let's turn it back up. Oh, I was in park, oops. I was like, why is it not going? I put it in park to play with the suspension, and I went to take off with the lights. I was like, oh, it's a little Mercedes, I'll be able to go in front of that. No, I was in park. So far, another thing I did notice is the lane centering and lane keep and all of that. Even the driver monitoring is actually quite pleasant, even though I've been quite distracted. It's not too intrusive. The head-up display is really nice on the dashboard. It's a little bit bigger than the BYD Shark, so the actual display on the head-up display. But so far, everything's really, really comfortable. So it is stiffer in race mode. I can feel it when we definitely hit bumps. It is a little bit stiffer, and I wouldn't say it's stiff at all. It's a firmer, let's rephrase that. It's a little bit firmer, but it's not uncomfortable even in race mode. Launch control on. Yeah, that's fast. So it's got launch control. and it's very, very fast to respond. So right now I'm just cruising along, and if you were to just plant your foot, it responds very, very quickly. There's no gear changes, which is one of the benefits of driving an EV vehicle. No gear changes. Let's get on the freeway and head back to Denza. So another thing is on the on your cluster for the driver, on the top left, it shows you the height of the vehicle. So currently it says L for low. Oh, I know why the aircon went down. It's because I was changing the menu. Okay, so we go back to drive mode, we go out of drive mode. Let's go to, all of those are pretty much off-road mode, so we won't use any of those. But low suspension height, so currently the suspension is sitting at low, it tells you on the screen, which is really cool. All right, so I'm gonna test launch control here on the highway again, because it's probably a bit better area to do it. All right, so we're gonna go to race mode, agree, the car's gonna squat down again, and we're gonna go launch control. Should be able to launch pretty easily, super fast. There you go, 5 seconds to 100. That was going uphill. How good is that? How's it feel? It's good, huh? So good. Is that the first time you've used the launch control in this?
Yeah, that's the first time trying.
I really can't wait to take our B5 and our B8 off-road and do some off-road testing. Definitely a fast car. So we're just heading back to the dealership, just testing the adaptive cruise control around town, just to see how it behaves in a very built-up area. Obviously, on the highway, it'll work very well. But I'm just interested to see how the steering works on sharp corners. Man, it's such a nice car. Far out. Very, very, if you've driven a Shark, completely different. Okay, did you see that bump here? Oh. One thing I noticed is when you put your left blinker on, it shows up here, just like in the Shark. However, when you put your right blinker on, it shows up on your cluster in front of the driver, on your right-hand side of your screen, which is really handy. Now, there's other cars that do that, like Kia and Hyundai, they have like a little bubble that comes up on there. So that is actually quite handy. Now, I didn't have to, we sat at that traffic light for at least 40 seconds, and the car continued to move forward when the Jaguar in front of me decided to move forward. It just notified me that the car's about to move forward, and it moved forward by itself. So I didn't need to intervene, because some cars I know, if you've been sitting too long, I'm not sure what the time frame on this, maybe it's a minute, but once the car in front starts to move, it says the car is moving, would you like to proceed? And you have to tap the accelerator. However, in the B5, it's driving beautifully. So in stop-start traffic, the adaptive cruise control works great. So smooth, so comfortable. See how it goes again. There you go, vehicle ahead has started. Please pay attention to the surroundings, and it moves, proceeds forward. All right, so we got lane centering now. Let's see how we're driving along what's this called again? Let's see how it deals with this. I'm not going to intervene. So it said, please can take control of the vehicle when it's coming to a stop. It doesn't do steering when you come to a stop. However, I'm pretty sure once we get it back up to speed, it will take, yep, oh no, there we go. So I think it's under 30 Ks an hour, it won't steer. Oh no, it's steering now. So under around 25 Ks an hour, it disables and you have to take control of the wheel, the steering. All right, now the adaptive is working really well.
Keep eyes on road.
It's driving along here, no dramas at all.
Good.
Let's see how it does on this sharp left turn, because it's quite sharp here. I reckon it'll disengage. There's no way it's going to do this. No way. It's actually doing really, really well. Holy moly. That's insane. Now this is very, very tight, so I might need to intervene. I'll just see how it goes. Like the car is literally, oh, it's going to get confused. It switched lanes. That's right, I'm checking my mirrors. Okay, so it got a bit tight there and a bit tricky. That was a very, very tricky situation. However, it did really well, really, really well. It changed lanes. I was watching my mirrors and making sure there was no cars in the next lane, so don't worry about that, guys. I would say that's really, really good, because my Shark would not have done that. My Tank 500 wouldn't have done that as well. I haven't tested that, but that is really, really, really good. So the DENZA B5, I'm wondering how the intelligent cruise control is going to work, but mate, that works really, really well. So, and that power is just instant. So this is just my initial verdict of the car, what I think about it, you know, some of the electronic features in it, everyday driving, not off-roading, just driving to and from. Obviously tested the 0 to 100, we tested the intelligent cruise control, we've tested some of the features in the vehicle. The suspension feels amazing. Yeah, the DENZA suspension is so comfortable. So I haven't test driven the normal DENZA B5, the normal suspension, so we'll have to do that in another video. But currently in the Leopard suspension is, it's worth the extra money in my opinion. And look, I'm a suspension company as well, and we sell our own suspension. However, I have a feeling a lot of customers that are going to go and buy a Leopard are potentially going to buy, to go and buy a B5 are going to end up with the Leopard. You've got to remember that the Leopard, the payload is lower because it's a heavier vehicle. So a lot of people are asking for GVM. I'm not sure whether, you know, DENZA themselves or their affiliated partner is going to be doing a GVM upgrade for it. I'm yet to find that information out. However, if you're worried about that, you might need to go for the non-DENZA suspension, which is in the Leopard, which has a bigger payload, has a few less features. It doesn't have your Napa leather. I don't think it's got Napa leather. It doesn't have head-up display. It doesn't have as big wheels and tires. It's also missing the spare tire cover on the back. Doesn't have the DENZA suspension. Doesn't have as I think it's got the same stereo, is that correct? But other than that, it's pretty much the same vehicle. The Napa leather is really nice. The quality of it feels amazing. Anyway, so we're going to go and test drive the B8 now, and unfortunately I can't test drive the 6-seater, which is the version that I've ordered. But we're heading back to the dealership now, so we'll head back in and swap over for the B8. Let's go. Stay tuned.